Woo! Wheeling dealing. The cream of the crop. Look what he does it better. I got 141 and 2/3 chance of winning. But, brother, I am bad and they know I'm bad.
I'm the man of the hour, the man with the power. You speak to me, star.
It's showtime, folks.
Welcome to the Grill Out. From the heart of Shillian, West Virginia, here's your host, Hollywood Jeff Petty.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to the Grill Out, episode 81. I am adjusting my headset right now. I'm your host, Hollywood Jeff Petty, and I'm joined by not both, but one.
The best.
Well, that's up for debate.
The best.
Up for debate. Jason Lykens, the reflection of perfection, sometimes deception.
Jeff, let me stop you right there. You see, listeners, what happens is this room can only handle so much greatness. And when you are
so much
great,
ego.
So much ego.
Yes.
Let's talk about ego for a second. What's the name of this show? The Grill Out with Hollywood Jeff Petty. Doesn't even put his co-host names on there because he knows that only one of the co-hosts outshines the lights of Hollywood, and that's greatness, because when you're good, you're good. When you're great, you're me. Now, don't forget that, Jeff. I am the reflection of perfection. You can sit in your chair. You can wish upon a star in the Hollywood lights of what you could be, and when you look at me, you know that what you could be, baby, is nothing as good as me. Because he got a bicycle, baby. I got 2 bicycles, baby. They're in my garage, baby. I got 4 wheels, 2 bicycles, baby.
Oh, that
the best you can get is a unicycle.
You really think my big self will get on a unicycle?
No offense, man. I want to see it. I want to see it. Listen.
It'll look like Yoshi on a pogo stick, okay?
Hey, man, don't do that to Yoshi. You're far worse than Yoshi.
Jesus. You can tell.
It's like a Goomba.
You can tell how much Jason actually likes me.
You can tell how happy I am that Josh isn't here.
Yeah, the champ's not here?
You know what? That's my problem, okay? If you are the champ, I don't care what you have going on in your day-to-day life. If you're sick, if you're at a festival, if you have a trip booked to New York, you show up. It doesn't matter. If you are the champ, you show up to work. When I was champ, I was here every week. I had so many personal things that I put aside. Okay, I was doing my forgiveness tour of 24, and I still showed up to work. I don't get it.
I don't get it.
Josh,
either.
you should be ashamed.
Well, he'll definitely put this in the group chat. I'm like, what did I do?
I'll tell you what you did, Josh. You didn't show up to work.
Yep. He told us last week he wasn't.
I don't care. I thought he was joking.
No, he's not.
You're right. He doesn't joke.
He doesn't.
They're terrible jokes.
He tries. He gives it his best shot. He gives it the old college try, you know.
Yeah, well, college failed him.
Well, I mean, to be honest, Jason.
No, I am working on my dissertation.
You are. How far are you with that? Like, how is that going?
It is in review right now.
Okay, good.
So I should know something within the week.
Okay. And at that point, we would know if
I become Dr. Lykens or Dr. Greatness.
Dr. Greatness.
Dr. Greatness. Yeah.
On your dissertation about who is and who is not Ultimo Dragon,
yes.
in layman's terms.
Yes. Jeff, if you will humor me.
Okay.
Give me a wrestler. Funaki.
Yes.
Not Ultimo Dragon.
Okay. All right. Let me think. Jamie Noble.
From Hanover, West Virginia, Jamie Noble.
Yes, that Jamie Noble.
Not Ultimo Dragon.
Okay. Let me think. Who else was on Velocity in 2002?
Listen, I can give you 2 names right now for who are not Ultimo Dragon.
Who?
Naito and Bushi.
That's true.
Not Ultimo Dragon.
That is true.
But their future, huh?
Uh-huh. I'm glad you teed that up.
See that, Josh? That's how you do a segue.
Naito and Bushi wrestled their final matches in a New Japan ring last weekend, wrestling one more time with their faction Los Ingobernables de Japón, or LIJ. Not a lot is known about where the two will end up after this. It is being reported by Tokyo Sports that
Hold
Naito...
on. How is it that reported is in what you just said? That's the word you messed up on.
I don't know.
Like, I was so proud of you for everything else that you just perfectly pronounced, and then you get to report it.
Yeah.
Probably the most English word on here, reported. And you're like, report? Report.
Yeah, reported by Tokyo Sports.
Report.
That Naito will have surgery on his left eye. Well, it was this past on May 7th, so that was
No, correct me.
Wednesday?
Is that always the eye that he holds open? Whenever he does his pose?
I don't know.
You know, because if it is, Naito, stop that.
Yeah.
Stop holding it open.
Stop. Yeah.
Yeah.
He will have stem cell treatment on his right knee though.
Okay. So left eye, right knee.
Yes. But the thing is right now, and I've seen people talking about this, and that they want Naito to kind of like go away for like a year or two and then come back.
Yeah.
I think he's 43.
Well,
I mean, people have went further, but
yeah.
He's already had a lot of knee issues.
Yeah.
And of course he's having some type of surgery done to his eye, so something has happened there. And also, and we've talked about this on the show before, that New Japan strong style Puroresu style is very hard on somebody's body.
It is.
Yeah.
But at the same time, keep this in mind, okay? AJ Styles is currently older than Michael Hayes was when he retired. Michael Hayes was 35.
Was he really 35?
35 when he retired.
Wow.
Well, also keep in mind that there was a match between Earthquake and Big Boss Man where between them they were still under the age of 50. Two guys who look like they have always been 50.
That's true. Well, it was something about them, about the old school wrestlers. Yeah, Big Boss Man definitely looked like he was.
Earthquake, man, that hairline was worse than Hogan's.
It was.
But with Naito, maybe he takes some time off. He comes back and wrestles a different style, maybe a more grounded style.
Maybe, but he not only does he have a background in Puroresu, and this also goes for Bushi.
Yeah.
Bushi also has a background in Puroresu. They both are rooted in luchadors, in lucha libre. So that's a very high-flying, high-impact style mixed with the Japanese strong style of just hard-hitting, I'm going to actually hit you type stuff and not pull punches. You mix those two together, this is kind of what you get. But nevertheless, both of them they've left New Japan. They are no longer a part of LIJ, and we'll just have to wait and see. I don't know where they're going to end up. I have no clue.
Well, let me ask you this, Jeff. I have no idea if this is on your breakdown because I never read them.
He doesn't.
I don't. I don't need
I
to.
send them to him.
You do, but I don't care. So, speaking of strong style and people who are no longer with New Japan, what is Shinsuke Nakamura going to do when his contract is up? I don't think he should renew. I think he should go elsewhere.
Where would he go, though?
Anywhere. Probably.
When is his contract up?
I don't know. But the best thing about Shinsuke with WWE is his music. That's it.
That's true.
Like they don't book him well.
Have you ever watched Shinsuke outside of WWE?
Oh yeah.
Like it's night and day.
Yes.
To it.
Now Shinsuke NXT is a lot different than Shinsuke main roster.
That is very true as well. NXT Shinsuke was more closely aligned with New Japan Shinsuke.
Yeah.
And then he gets called up to the main roster. What was it, WrestleMania 34? I think that was when they were in New Orleans, and it was supposed to be AJ Styles and Shinsuke Nakamura, and everybody's like, oh my God, we're going to get a rematch from Wrestle Kingdom.
And it was terrible.
Oh, it was awful.
It was trash.
It was complete garbage.
And the easy thing is to say, Shinsuke, go to AEW, but I don't want that.
No, because AEW has it's another promotion that has this hard-hitting style to it.
Well, and it's kind of the WWE fallback.
Yeah, it really has. It has become that. But that's also what happens when you have AEW, which is, and some people are going to hate me saying this, they're the number 2 promotion. So if you're wanting to make some money and you're wanting to have like a home promotion, that's kind of a no-brainer to go over there.
Well, by number 2 promotion, I mean, by no means are we saying they are the best or the most viewed. What we're saying is they have the biggest machine behind them.
Yep.
When you have the funds, that's what puts you at the ranking of promotion.
Yes.
WWE has a lot of funds and a lot of name notoriety behind it. They are established. They are, without a doubt, in America, the number one promotion, like it or not.
Exactly. And
AEW, number 2.
Yes, and you can make an argument with WWE that they are the number one promotion internationally.
Yeah.
To an extent, but look at how many international tours they do.
Yes.
I mean, they do quite a bit. AEW is trying to go in that direction, and there's times that they have knocked it out of the park, like with Wembley Stadium.
Yes.
With All In. They've been able to pull that off. But, yeah, AEW, as much as I do like AEW, it is the number 2 promotion.
Yes.
And I don't think that there is a close number 3 behind it.
No. And I think the space between second and third is a lot smaller than the space between first and second.
Yeah.
I mean, there are miles apart between first and second.
Yeah, and it goes back to WWE has the history behind them, and they've been doing this for years. It's a family bit. Well, was a family business. So that's why that they are the number one promotion in the country and arguably outside of the country.
Yes.
Now, of course, I think if you go over to Japan, I don't think that they are perceived as the number one wrestling promotion over there. You definitely have your WWE fans.
Yeah.
But they gravitate more towards New Japan, All Japan, Pro Wrestling Noah, Stardom, Tokyo Joshi, whichever promotion you decide to pick.
Well, I'm asking you this because you are a much bigger fan of New Japan than I am. I like New Japan. You have a lot more history with it. WWE goes to Australia. They can sell out an arena.
Yep.
Can New Japan do the same?
I don't think they can do it by themselves. Well, now that I think about it, Australia's within the same time zone as Japan, right? Give or take?
Yeah.
Like maybe an hour or two off?
Closer than here in Japan.
Yes.
Or here in Australia.
So, yes, I think maybe they could. I think, now that I'm sitting here thinking about it, I think that they could. Because if you think about it also, they do have quite a bit of talent that comes not just from Australia, but from New Zealand and everything as well. Jay White is one that comes to mind, even though he's with AEW now. Bad Fale comes from that same area.
Okay.
Same for the Tongans. They come from the island of Tonga.
But only one of the names that you just mentioned is still with New Japan.
Fale.
Yeah.
Yeah. And that's what happens.
Who is a whole lot better than Tama Tonga. Or Tonga Loa, excuse me.
Yeah. I was going to say Tama Tonga's good.
Tama Tonga is good.
Yeah.
Yes.
Tonga Loa.
No.
Oh, no. It's not good. It's not good at all.
But, going from international to local.
Yes. Grappalachia. We have talked about this documentary before on the program, and I will say this. If you have not watched Grappalachia yet, I don't know why you haven't, but I highly, highly recommend it for this area. It is a wonderful introduction into the local wrestling scene.
I will say this. I'm not saying this because Troy Rankin, the producer and director, was on our show, and I like the guy. Mm-hmm. I'm saying this because I enjoy pro wrestling, and I enjoy West Virginia, and I enjoy West Virginia pro wrestling. I watched it 3 times and really enjoyed it. I really enjoyed Grappalachia.
Yes, it is such a great introduction. Everybody that I've talked to have said it's a wonderful documentary. It's only about a half hour, correct?
My biggest complaint is I wanted it to be longer.
That's true. And Troy, if you're listening to this, which he could be, I really would like to see a Grappalachia 2.
Yeah, I'd love to see a follow-up.
Yes, absolutely. I would love to see that. And we'll get further into the discussion about this area here in a second. But Troy Rankin, the producer and director of it, was on our show before, as what Jason was talking about. This documentary, which showcases local wrestling in our area, won 3 awards at the 2025 Communicator Awards in 3 categories.
Yes.
General Arts and Culture, Excellence 2025, General Documentary Distinction 2025, and General Sports Distinction 2025. We congratulate everyone involved on showcasing our area in professional wrestling.
Yes. So congratulations to everyone who worked on it.
Yep.
And Troy, very much congratulations to you on that.
Yes.
It was great.
And everybody, like I said, everybody that was involved with it. I think Grappalachia showcases how healthy the professional wrestling scene is here in West Virginia.
You know what? I said that I had one complaint. I have another complaint about it.
What's that?
We had nothing to do with it. Troy, what are you thinking? Or are you not thinking, Troy? Come on. You could have had the reflection of perfection, this luscious tone, on your documentary. And no, you didn't do it. You didn't do it, Troy. You know what? If you would have done that, I guarantee you would have won 20 awards.
I don't even.
Yeah.
I don't go. I don't know.
Speaking
no,
of things,
just to go back to it, we talked to Troy on the program. If you have not got a chance to go listen to that interview, please do. He hung out with us for the whole show.
He did.
Gracious enough to do that
did
with
predictions with us.
He's from Colorado.
Yeah.
And he mentioned that they don't have anything like this out there. They don't have local indie wrestling to this degree in Colorado. I was at a Regatta Pro show several months back. It was actually the first wrestling show I took Ivy to.
Okay.
And I went up to a vendor to buy some pop off of. And I had a chance to sit there and talk to her. She's from Florida, which just kind of threw me for a loop when she told me.
Yeah.
She was like, "This is amazing," talking about the show and everything. She's like, "We don't have anything like this in Florida." I'm like, "Florida of all places?"
Yeah.
Like, you have the Performance Center. There's Florida Championship Wrestling. AEW is based out of Jacksonville.
Yeah.
But maybe the independent wrestling scene's not as strong there as it is here in West Virginia. Like, it really does. Like I said, Grappalachia really does give you a wonderful introduction to the world of professional wrestling around here. And I did have a chance to talk to Adam Harris at ASW's 19th anniversary show, and I was sitting there saying the same thing to him, and he agreed. He said that, you know, it is a strong hand that they have here in West Virginia with all of the different promotions, all of the different work that professional wrestlers can get. If you have a favorite indie wrestler, Jack Vaughn.
Yep.
Well, I have a few different favorite indie wrestlers, but
favorite.
Jack Vaughn's great.
Yeah.
Vice Lap.
Well, and also, I mean, if you're in West Virginia
Mm-hmm.
and you keep saying things like, you know, we've got nothing to do here, take in a local indie show.
Yes.
Give it a shot. If you're traveling through West Virginia, if you're listening to this show, go to a indie show here. Try it out. See what you think. Try it.
There's a reason why on this show we have a segment called The Main Event.
Yes.
Because we are showcasing all of the different shows internationally, nationally, and locally to let you know what your upcoming week of professional wrestling is going to look like, and mainly to let you know where all the local shows are going to be.
Well, and also, I mean, it's small business. You know,
it is.
Support local business.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
You don't always have to give your money to the machine.
No. And if you're like us and you're a baller on the budget and you want to take your kids to...
I don't know what you're talking about. I am the longest reigning, what's the name of the show? Grill Out Predictions Champion. I wear corduroy constantly. Okay, Ric Flair might have wore cashmere all the time, but that's not my budget. Okay, I've got the corduroy champion right here.
Little does he know that the check that I wrote to him for his championship reign bounced. I don't know how he got the money to buy all of this stuff.
What's up? My headphones weren't working. What'd you say, Jeff?
On this day in wrestling history. May 11th, 1995, in the one and only singles match between Stunning Steve Austin and Macho Man Randy Savage. The two fought as part of a tournament for the vacant United States Championship at a WCW Saturday night taping in Atlanta, Georgia. Savage was victorious in the bout. The only time they met.
Only time
they ever wrestled.
And really, that's a shame because, two amazing workers there. Stunning Steve Austin, I hope he made it, at some point.
I hope he did, too.
Yeah.
I hope he did, too.
Because he was kind of like a ringmaster,
He was. He did have that, that sort of that stone cold.
He did. I wonder whatever happened to him.
I don't know. You can write into the show and let us know what happened to Stunning Steve Austin. The Grill95 at gmail.com.
I can tell you one thing that happened to him. He's not Ultimo Dragon. Jeff, tell me, anything happened in 1997?
May 11th, 1997, WWE's In Your House, A Cold Day in Hell pay-per-view took place at the Richmond Coliseum in Richmond, West Virginia.
No, listen, okay. We are nowhere near Richmond, Virginia. So
nice place to visit.
Yeah, you people who think that West Virginia and Virginia are the same state, no. There's 50 states. West Virginia is one of them. 2, if you ask us where we're from and we say West Virginia, do not then ask us how close are we to Richmond.
About 5 hours.
We're not. We're not close.
Nope.
Anyways.
In the main event, The Undertaker defeated Stone Cold Steve Austin. That's what happened to him.
Wait, is there any relation between the two?
I think there is.
Huh.
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
No.
Why didn't anyone tell me that?
You didn't know that?
No.
Hold on.
Really?
Yes.
That's who Stunning Steve Austin became.
Yes. I was just playing along with the bit on you.
Why didn't anyone and he was also the ringmaster?
Yes.
Why did that gimmick was terrible?
Well, yeah, he said it was terrible.
I didn't know it was the same guy. He had all this luscious, stunning hair, and then he became bald.
Well, yeah, he was losing his hair, and he said, I think the way the story went, he was in Pittsburgh, and he's like, I'm just going to shave it all off, and they did. He just shaved all of his hair off. It wasn't a complete look because he was still the ringmaster at that time, and he didn't shave it all the way down to his skin, but he was going in that direction, yeah.
Next you're going to tell me he went to ECW.
Hold on.
Are you kidding me?
No.
Why am I on the show if I don't know anything about wrestling history?
I don't know who.
I understand Josh, but come on, 2 co-hosts who don't understand wrestling history.
I don't know who booked you on this.
I don't know.
Yeah, he was Superstar Steve Austin in ECW.
There's people who don't even realize that I'm on this show.
Fair enough. There's people that, they don't. We're stowed away.
Okay, so next you're going to tell me that something happened in 2013 in Japan.
Yes.
Jesus.
May 11th, 2013, Japanese wrestling legend Kenta Kobashi officially retired from in-ring competition. Yep.
Oh, that's it?
Yep, that's it.
Oh.
He retired. But part of the 4 pillars of heaven in All Japan Pro Wrestling. One of the instrumental people that helped Pro Wrestling Noah get off the ground when Mitsuharu Misawa and them did the mass exodus from All Japan over to Pro Wrestling Noah. Yeah, I know a thing or two about that.
Yeah.
All right. We're going to go ahead and take a break.
Time for more of the Grill Out. Here's Hollywood Jeff Petty.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to the Grill Out. I'm your host, Hollywood Jeff Petty. I'm joined by Jason Lykens.
The reflection of perfection.
He deceives us all.
And keep in mind, Josh, I'm sorry that no one ever talks about how great of a fence you built.
That's very true. Josh is also our current Grill Out Predictions champion.
Yeah, who's not here. So the title should be stripped of him and put on me.
Well,
I'm here.
You take that up with our general manager.
I will.
Okay. By the way, as far as predictions go, this just popped in my head. We will not talk about predictions this episode. That will be next episode because we are recording this today before Mother's Day and before Backlash takes place.
Yes.
So, yes, next episode we'll talk about.
But we do have a weird thing that may happen. That may happen because you and I have picked equally.
Oh, that's true.
So if Josh loses, then it's between us, but we've picked.
And neither of us are current champions.
No. So we'd have to figure out something. Like, I don't know. If you have ideas, please write in. You can email us. You can put it on the Facebook.
Yep.
Some things that have been mentioned was like trivia.
Yeah. Which I completely forgot we've done trivia on the show, like the OG show.
Yes, the OG show.
Yep.
There's also the thing of, in the next predictions, Josh is not in it, so it would just be kind of a one-on-one thing.
Yeah.
To see who is the I don't know.
Yeah. You can email us to grillout95@gmail.com. You can also write us on Facebook, as what Jason said.
Yes.
Facebook.com/thegrillout or on Blue Sky at thegrillout.bsky.social.
I know someone said a 5K run.
I'm not doing that. I'm not. I'm going to get B-word fat real quick. I ain't doing that.
I bought the biscuits.
Give me the biscuits. I put them on my bracelets. Oh, man. AAA.
So, speaking of ideas.
Yep. AAA. We kind of broke that story while we were recording a few weeks ago when AAA sold to WWE.
Yes.
So with that, WWE has acquired AAA. While a lot of speculation has been going around about that, according to Super Luchas, a Spanish-speaking publication covering Lucha Libre, are reporting that WWE has offered contracts to the following: Hijo de Dr. Wagner, Hijo del Vikingo, La Parca, we'll get to that one here in a second, La Hydra, Lady Flamer, Lady Marav, and Nino Hamburguesa. I don't know Spanish, so that's the best I can do. Yep. It was originally...
If that offended anybody, I am sorry. We don't speak Spanish.
Listen, there's no way I can roll my R's.
Anybody know where I sweet tea?
I have been drinking quite a bit of sweet tea here, which explains my weight. Yeah. It was originally reported that Alberto Del Rio also offered a WWE contract, but it has since been reported that he has not. WWE is simply going to honor the current contract he has with AAA.
Which brings up a question of where will we see him next, and why will it not be WWE? The world will keep on turning because of that. I don't care if I ever see Del Rio again.
Yeah, same.
Not for the same reasons as Bill Goldberg, but I would rather see Bill Goldberg than Del Rio.
True. Del Rio, we just did a story on him a few weeks ago.
Yeah.
About an incident at AAA show where he threw a lady.
The only way that
he threw a chair and she was there, but still.
Yeah. I think the only way that I would ever want to see Del Rio on TV again is if he was all of a sudden surprised by Chris Hansen.
Jesus. All right. Now, I will say this. With Del Rio, the contract just being honored by WWE, is it that these other wrestlers that I just named, La Parca and La Hydra, Hijo del Vikingo, etc., is it that they are offered new contracts, or is WWE simply honoring the current contracts they have with AAA?
I have no idea.
Yeah, I don't have any
something I'd like to know.
Exactly. I have no idea about that as well. That just seems... It seems kind of weird that it's Del Rio that they're willing to honor his contract and not other ones. Or I don't know. I'm not in Mexico, so I can't.
Well, could it be the kind of thing of, okay, we're honoring that you can go elsewhere as long as it's not XYZ and perform their contract? Because Del Rio could go wrestle other places and still.
Maybe, he could.
I don't know.
Could make his way over to CMLL. or make his way overseas to Japan or go somewhere else. I don't see him going with TNA because TNA has such a close working relationship with WWE.
Yes.
Now, could Del Rio end up working there now because of WWE? Possibly. Now that they've acquired AAA.
Yeah, I think it would just, optic-wise, it would be a bad look.
Oh, yeah.
The same as if he would go to AEW.
Yes. I will say this, if he does pop up in AEW, I will be a little disappointed.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's our thoughts on Del Rio. But we figured out something about La Parka, though.
There's 3 of them.
Yes.
Yeah.
Had no idea about this.
Well, I knew that there was a La Parka and an L.A. Park.
Yeah, that there was. So L.A. Park is the original La Parka
From WCW.
Yes, the ones that
The chairman of WCW.
Yes, and AAA had acquired the rights, the intellectual property to the La Parka name. So the original La Parka, now going by L.A. Park,
Yes.
is not allowed to use La Parka. So he has to go by L.A. Park. Follow me on this.
I'm walking with you.
Yeah, trying to, because it is a little confusing. So pulling this up. Yeah, La Parka. Yeah, the original La Parka is L.A. Park. But there was another La Parka that did pass away, unfortunately, in 2020 due to an accident that happened in a wrestling ring. And there is also a current La Parka.
Yes.
In AAA.
As of, I think, February or maybe March. But as of 2025, there is a new La Parka.
Yes. Let's see.
It is the 3rd La Parka. And he is actually a member of one of the most legendary lucha families.
Yes. So it says right here, on March 22nd, 2025, AAA introduced a 3rd La Parka portrayed by Brazo de Oro Jr. That
is
was
it D or Day?
I think Day. Yeah, because they were at De Reyes.
Okay.
2025. Came out to Thriller.
Yes.
Good entrance, though. You showed me the entrance at during the break.
Yes. Well, he was reintroduced to the crowd initially when he made his debut with Vampiro.
Okay. And
so they had him come out of a casket.
Okay. I'm following with you.
Yeah. But, yeah, I mean, individuals in his wrestling family include Psycho Clown.
Interesting.
La Mascara? La Mascaras.
So we have stumbled. We have now stumbled across the actual Caneverse.
Yes.
The La Parkaverse.
Yes.
We found a new one.
Now, but keep in mind, like, the Caneverse, there have been cease and desists.
There absolutely has been.
This one, there was only kind of one, but that was towards the original La Parka.
Which is kind of crazy when you think about it. He's also 59 and he's still wrestling.
I was a huge La Parka fan whenever I was a kid.
Oh, really?
Yes, watching
Was it
WCW.
the mask or?
Just the whole thing. The whole gimmick, the dancing, the hitting people with chairs. What was really great is there was a time that the entire La Parka gimmick was he would come out with a microphone, and then someone would be dubbing what he was saying.
Oh.
And so he would then hold up signs where he's like, I'm not saying that. Like, because he would be talking trash about, let's say, like, his opponent, Scott Steiner.
Yeah.
And just insulting him, and La Parka would, like, throw the microphone down and be like, no, that's not what I'm saying, and the voice would continue on.
See, so did you know that there is a stream on YouTube right now that is just playing old WCWs?
I did not.
Yes, like continuously, like pay-per-views, Thunder, Nitro, WCW Saturday Night.
Okay.
Like all of them are going through there. And I actually stumbled across that the other night.
Okay.
Yeah, so I was going to actually bring that up because I was like, it wasn't that, but it was La Parka. He went out there. I think he hit somebody with a chair or something, and then there's this voiceover, and I'm like, I know that's not his voice.
Yes.
So, okay, that makes so much more sense to
Yes.
me.
It's kind of like whenever they would do the Takamichi Nuku and Funaki bits, where Takamichi Nuku would say all this stuff, and then he would hand the mic over to Funaki, who would be moving his mouth, and then all you would hear would be "indeed." So it's just kind of that whole playing up on the stereotypical overdubbing in Godzilla movies where there's lots of movement that isn't syncing with what's being said at all.
Yeah. Gotta love that kind of stuff. You did mention somebody.
Scott Steiner. And okay, so I'm really confused about this big question that's going on right now, which is like 100 men versus one gorilla.
Yes.
Okay, so there's a few questions I have. Is it 100 men at one time? Is it one-on-one with the gorilla?
If it's one-on-one, the gorilla's winning.
Yeah. Super,
well,
of course.
It depends on who's.
Yeah. And that's where Scott Steiner comes in.
I'm going to let you take this.
Yes. Oh, yes, because I absolutely love Scott Steiner. So, there have been so many takes that it would be an entire episode of explaining them, but one person weighed in on the fun. Big Papa Pump ain't nobody finer than Scotty Steiner. And he took to Twitter, because I refuse to call it anything else that isn't Twitter, to put his 2 cents in. And I quote, "Let's say you've got 100 average men. No weapons, no trainings, just fear in their eyes and dad bods in their way. Then you got one full-grown silverback gorilla, 600 pounds of pure rage, muscle, and tree-ripping power. Now here comes the math. Out of those 100 men, maybe 25% don't even show up once they see the gorilla. That's 25 cowards eliminated immediately. Then you got 33 and 1/3 of them trying to talk it out. They're done. Another 20% just stand there frozen in their pants. Now you're left with about 21 guys, panicked, half-committed, and getting launched like lawn darts. But what if Big Papa Pump's in the mix? You just tip the freaking scale. Now it's not 100 men versus one gorilla. It's one gorilla versus the genetic freak, and that spells disaster for that gorilla."
Yes. I'm the big bad booty daddy. English.
I bet Scott Steiner would go out there and he'd look at the gorilla and be like, "He's fat."
Yes. Yes, he absolutely would do that.
Now that gorilla is going to be sitting on the floor looking at a banana, wanting to eat that banana, and Scott Steiner's going to come over and break its back with a Steiner recliner. That gorilla's going to get up in a tree, and the big bad booty dad is going to hop up there and give it a Frankensteiner. He's not going to see that coming.
That's so great.
Because that gorilla, he's over in the corner, and I've got my genetic freak, and where I've got my freaks behind me, because I'm the big bad booty daddy.
See, this right here, this tweet from Scott Steiner brings nothing to the table but entertainment right now.
Yes. Well, that's all it needs to be.
Yeah, absolutely.
I think the 100 men versus one gorilla, the idea was put out there of, well, what happens if we have one genetic freak? Because then it's not 100 men versus one gorilla. The question needs to be what happens when you have one genetic freak versus 100 gorillas. Because everybody knows that Scott Steiner's the winner, and that spells disaster at sacrifice for you, Smojo.
Smojo.
Oh,
wow. Yeah. Speaking of Scott Steiner, his family.
Yes.
Breaker.
Yes.
This is one thing I wanted to talk about with you before we go to the main event.
Yes, because I definitely have, I do not shy away from my opinions.
Yeah, I think that's a bit of an understatement.
Yes.
Yeah.
Talking to you, Bill Goldberg.
Who has a finisher this year?
Yes. Well,
Braun Breaker also here. Who has yours?
Now,
Spear in your.
I am only going to be talking about the male wrestlers.
Yeah.
Because I certainly believe that not everyone should do a spear. I have mentioned this times off the show.
Looking at you, Cope.
I'm looking at you, Jey Uso.
Yeah.
Jey Uso has one of the worst spears and weakest spears I have ever seen, and absolutely needs to stop doing that because it diminishes the idea of a finishing move. Jey Uso, your spear sucks.
Yep.
I would say other things, but I can't.
Yep, he cannot.
Best spear, Braun Breaker. Braun Breaker's spear is better than Goldberg's spear.
I'm not going to argue with that.
The speed, the velocity, the dog-faced gremlin background, baby. His spear is a genetic freak, baby. You cannot make that spear in a chemistry lab, baby.
No. The fact, when he is running back and forth and running the ropes, the ring should not move like that.
No.
There is a lot of movement.
Yes.
And that's just one man doing that.
Yes.
And if you think about it, compared to us, Braun Breaker is a rather sizable person. But compared with WWE, the land of the giants,
yes,
Braun Breaker is really not that big.
No. But he is a genetic freak.
He is.
He is a freak athlete.
He's a freak of nature.
He is.
Yes. But yeah, I'm not a fan of Cope, Edge, Adam Copeland, whatever you want to call him. I'm not a fan of his spear.
I think with him, his hair helped.
That's true.
Because it helped with the movement and the selling of it. And now that he's got short hair, it looks terrible. I think it looks better than Christian Cage's.
That's true. But in a way,
they both suck.
Yeah. I liked his execution better.
Yeah.
I felt like that was a much better finisher than the spear.
Well, I get having a finisher that you can put on anybody.
Yeah.
But if it doesn't look impactful, then what is it?
Exactly.
He had the downward spiral, which he could put on anyone. It just didn't look great.
Yeah.
The execution, a whole lot better. The kill switch, unprettier. You can put on anyone,
yep,
and it looks good. Don't do a spear, Christian Cage. Don't do it. Jey Uso, I don't think anything he does looks good. In all honesty, I don't. I don't get as a tag team, Jimmy and Jay worked well.
Yes.
Because, you have similar movesets. You have two small guys. It goes back to the whole thing of like Rock and Roll Express, Midnight Rockers, the Rockers. You have two small guys who work well, and they use their speed. But as singles, it doesn't work. The spear is terrible. The spear works for Roman.
Yeah, but also, now I don't know Jey Uso's athletic background, but Roman's a former college football player.
Yes.
So if he cannot perform a proper spear, how did you make it to the collegiate level, the Division I collegiate level in football?
Yeah.
Without properly tackling somebody.
But it goes back to not everyone should do a spear.
Not everybody should do a DDT.
No, and I still think, to this day, a DDT should be a finisher.
Yeah.
You are dropping someone flat on their head. It should not just be essentially a rest hold at this point.
Yeah, same for a super kick.
Yes. But let me ask you, Jeff, best spear?
I have to agree with you on Braun Breaker.
Of course you do, because it's the correct answer.
Well,
I would ask, if my wife were here, I would ask her, and she would say, what is a spear? And I would say, good enough. That's exactly what Jey Uso was told whenever it was like, hey, Jay, you need to do a spear. And he was like, what's a spear? And it shows.
Fair enough. Let us know who you think has the best spear.
Let me ask you this, Jeff. Who has the worst?
Who has the worst?
Yeah.
Oh.
Of modern. I mean, that you can think of. Because there's people who have done spears that I know is going to be terrible.
Yeah. I'm really not. Just to go back to it, I'm really not that fan of Edge's.
Yeah.
I get the hair. It made sense then. Now that you pointed that out, but I still am not that big of a fan of it.
Yeah.
I don't know. Maybe I don't like it now. Maybe that's what it is. Maybe I'm just a grouchy old man. I don't like it now. When I was a kid, it was cool seeing Edge, being in the corner of the ring and
the taunt,
and
everything with it.
Yeah. Then the hair and all of that. But
the look in the face, the eyes,
which really kind of went hand in hand with Randy Orton and Rated RKO and everything. That really played into them. But yeah, I'm not a fan of Edge's. Never have been. I mean, like I said, outside of maybe when I was a kid and I was watching Edge on Monday Night Raw and everything, even then, it's one of those things, like, it was cool when you're younger, then you get older and you're like, I'm not that big of a fan of this.
Yeah. Well, it's funny because, like, I'm
kind of like Barney.
Yeah. I'm trying to go through this catalog, this Rolodex, because I'm old, in my mind, of wrestling spears that I've seen. And I have seen officials, referees, when they fight, do a better spear, and I find it more enjoyable than Jey Uso's spear.
Earl Hebner can do a spear.
Yeah, I cannot explain how much I do not like Jey Uso's spear.
It's not, it's really not that great.
And
it's just...
It could be the fact that he beat Gunther.
He made a little bitter about it.
Well, how quickly Gunther tapped out did not make sense.
Yeah. He's supposed to be an annihilator.
Yeah.
And, yeah, like, he gets tapped out by Jey Uso.
And it just... Wrestling is for everyone. Okay, I am not the writer. I'm not saying that because it's something I disagree with that it's wrong. The great thing is...
It's all in the eye of the beholder.
Yeah, and I firmly believe that everyone is entitled to their own opinion unless it comes to basic human decency.
Absolutely.
But Jey Uso should not be the world champ.
I agree.
I don't see it. I don't see it.
I don't either. And we will leave that right there. And now we have the main event.
It looks like all the talking has been done. It's time for the main event.
And now we have the main event where we go ahead and let you know what your upcoming week of professional wrestling is going to look like nationally, internationally, and, of course, locally. Internationally and nationally, Wednesday, May 14th and Saturday, May 17th, AEW Beach Break, a two-part television special airing as Wednesday Night Dynamite and Saturday Night Collision.
You're not Bash at the Beach. You're not Hog Wild.
Those were very good pay-per-views.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm. Saturday, May 17th, the National Wrestling Alliance will hold the Crockett Cup, which will feature WWE's Natalya, or rather Natty Neidhart, who will challenge Kenzie Page for the NWA World Women's Championship.
I want Natty Neidhart to dominate.
Yes.
She deserves so much credit in wrestling, but her mic skills have never been great.
That's true, but with the promo she just recently put out, I like Natty Neidhart. Natalya?
Yes. No, Natty Neidhart, in that promo, very intense.
Yes.
There's one thing I would have changed. We talked about that off air.
Yes.
There's a word that she screamed that, in my opinion...
Shouldn't have been scrumped.
No, it should have been soft. It should have been you have to lean in and really listen to what she's saying, because she is talking at a point where she wants you to pay attention to every syllable. It's a Jake Roberts-style promo.
Very much.
That you're so mad that you can't even raise your voice. You have to you're so mad that it's quiet.
Mm-hmm.
That I want
It's unnerving.
Yeah, because the amount of pain that I'm going to inflict on you, Josh Cole, when you get back, because you are not here with my title, no.
Not happening.
No. Welcome to the Grill Out ASMR. We'll help you sleep tonight.
On Saturday and Sunday, May 17th and 18th, Game Changer Wrestling has 2 nights of shows. Saturday's show is Big Time, which will be followed by Run For It on Sunday.
Big Time, Run For It.
Now, locally, on Friday, May 16th, Appalachian Championship Wrestling returns to Golly Bridge, West Virginia for a free show at the Golly Bridge Town Hall presenting
There's No One Like You, which is a very, very inviting name.
Very much.
Yeah.
Which will be the 5th annual Spider Crowley Memorial Show. Meet and greet at 7 o'clock and bell time is 7:30.
And it's free.
Yes, it is. The rest of these are on Saturday, May 17th.
Saturday,
May 17th. Atlantic Terror Championship Wrestling is back for
Mayhem in the Ring,
which will be held at the Leetown Community Center in Carneysville, West Virginia. Bell time is 7 o'clock, and front row is $15, and general admission is $12.
That's $10 plus 2.
Yes. Elite Pro Wrestling Alliance will be at the Short Gap Volunteer Fire Department in Ridgely, West Virginia. Bell time is 7 o'clock, and front row is $25, while general admission is $20. Elite Pro also has a weekly show, typically every Thursday at 7 o'clock, at the Indie Theater in Kaiser, West Virginia, with a $10 admission.
Elite Pro didn't name this one, so I'm just doing this voice for the fun of it.
Maximum Velocity Wrestling will present
Remember the Fallen 2
at the West Sots Community Center in Nitro, West Virginia. Bell time is 7 o'clock, and front row is $15, while general admission is $10.
So if you have 3 $5 bills, that will get you front row. If you have 2, then that will get you general admission. If you give them a 20, you have your choice of front row or general admission, unless all the front row seats are taken.
West Virginia Wrestling Federation will be at the Richardson Building in Parkersburg, West Virginia, for the
Ryan James Memorial Battle Royal.
Bell time is 7 o'clock, and tickets are $10, while it's free for kids 5 and under. Also, shout out to Real Shoot Wrestling, which primarily does shows here in West Virginia, as they will be traveling to Parma, Ohio for a
Weekend in Parma. Kids 5 and under free.
On Saturday. Best of luck to the wrestlers of RSW and safe travels.
Safe travels.
We're going to take a break.
Once again, here's Hollywood Jeff Petty.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to the Grill Out. That's going to do it for us. I'm Hollywood Jeff Petty. I'm joined here by Jason Lykens.
Did you forget who I was?
Maybe. About halfway through your first name.
Jason Lykens.
Is that you? Is that you, Jason?
I'm Ron Burgundy. Oh, who put a question mark?
Oh, man.
No, it was great. See how happy we are when Josh isn't here.
He's going to listen to this show like, really, guys?
Come on, guys. I thought I had friends. Wrong.
You can email us, thegrillout95@gmail.com. You can also follow us on Facebook, facebook.com/thegrillout. You can write us on there. Let us know who you think has the best spears or who has the worst spear.
Also, please keep asking who is and who is not Ultimo Dragon.
Yeah.
I think, did we mention that we were going to put the paper on the Facebook page?
Yes, we are going to put Jason's dissertation
Yes.
on the Facebook page. Granted, if it passes.
Yes.
If it passes committee, it will go on the Facebook
Yes.
page.
Jeff, do you have any other wrestlers that you are curious on if they are or are not Ultimo Dragon?
Arn Anderson.
Arn Anderson, not Ultimo Dragon.
Okay. Chris Jericho.
Not Ultimo Dragon.
Lance Storm.
Not Ultimo Dragon.
New Jack.
Not Ultimo Dragon.
Okay. All right, we got that cleared up.
One more.
Steve Austin.
Not Ultimo Dragon.
Okay.
Okay.
All right. If you need to know who is and who is not Ultimo Dragon, let us know.
Happy to help.
And until next time, fellow wrestling fans, have a good one.
Tonight's back.